Carl, of course, back in National League action at home this Saturday. But I mean, first off, obviously a difficult evening on Tuesday for off the pitch reasons, obviously with the goings on in the trophy against Farsley. But a positive sign that Lewis is back in Leeds now, and all signs seem to be pointing to him back on the road to recovery, which I suppose is all you can really hope for at this point.
Yeah, everything on the night sort of paled into insignificance, didn't it? The priority was Lewis's health, and everybody at the club reacted brilliantly to the situation. You know, we're really proud from a Gateshead point of view. Farsley have been really complimentary at how our fans and our staff reacted to the situation, and you know, it's great news to hear that he's recovering well, because you know, it's not nice to see. You know, unfortunately I've seen it before, but you know, particularly for the Farsley players as well, a lot of young players in that squad, you could say they were visibly shook up by it. Obviously some of our boys as well, but yeah, everybody managed the situation brilliantly, and we're delighted to hear that Lewis is on the mend. Yeah,
and I suppose how is everyone really off the back of Tuesday going into Saturday? I suppose not only the reasons you touch on there, but obviously a quick turnaround for the minutes that they did play in midweek as well.
Yeah, it's been disruptive. Obviously, we're, you know, given the news on Lewis is positive, you know, the boys have been able to refocus, and we've had a really good week, despite the sort of stop-start nature of it, with the game being called off initially and then the rescheduled one Tuesday abandoned. So yeah, we've had a really positive week. The lads have been in good spirits, and we've had real good intensity and quality out the sessions.
And for Saturday, of course, Woking, the opposition, obviously someone that the club's played earlier on in the season, obviously in the sort of period between you leaving and then coming back. But I suppose, how are you looking ahead to that one on Saturday?
Yeah, we've prepared well for it. They're a tough opponent, you know, they're strong 1v1 duels. So yeah, we've prepared for that, and we are looking forward to it. You know, the boys are, you know, the training over the last couple of days has been excellent. So I'm really pleased with where we're at in terms of how we've prepared and going into the game. Obviously, the nature of the game down their place, it is what it is. I think it's well documented. We don't want to go into that at any length, to be honest, and get distracted by anything other than trying to attack the game and get 3 points.
Yeah, and in terms of, I suppose, how the picture's looking squad-wise, unfortunately you've had a bit of a, sort of, not crisis, but you've had a few sort of long-term injuries to contend with that you probably haven't really been able to do a great deal about. I think that spring to mind, obviously, Tiernan Brooks has been out for a while. Jacob Butterfield was withdrawn a few weeks ago. Will McGowan obviously came back from his loan and then had to be forced off 45 minutes in. So, I mean, it's a bit of an interesting situation at the moment for us.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, but as always, you know, and how we try and live by the mantra of find a way. It's never been more applicable to the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, Jacob has tore his ACL, so he needs reconstruction on that, which is a huge blow. Obviously a fantastic player for us, a great calming influence as well in terms of how he conducts himself off the pitch and on it as well. So yeah, big blow. Will obviously came back to try and replace Jacob, and then within 44 minutes has an issue with his ribs. So he has obviously missed the last couple of weeks and will miss the next couple of weeks. And Tiernan is an ongoing situation. Unfortunately, Tiernan has an issue with his foot. Without going into too much detail, it could potentially be something where we don't see him again this season. But you know, we're hopeful that you know, the nature of the injury, that we do get him back within a good period of time. But there's no doubt that we're up against it. But like I said, we've got a squad that we have to use, and I'm confident in the players that we have available to go and win every game that we play in. But we need to make sure that we start getting some consistency and some reliability in our performances.
And aside from long-term sort of absentees, a little bit of positive news on Tuesday. Obviously, Charlie was back on the bench, and with Dan Jones, obviously he's been playing through his illness a little bit, but seems to be kind of coming through the right side of that now as well.
Yeah, Jonesy, to be fair to him, he's got 2 young children, so he seems to be the type of lad that just picks up everything. He played the game against Sunderland in the National League Cup, and before the game, you know, I said on that night, you know, we had to get him out of bed. You know, his eyeballs were yellow. He really didn't look well at all. So credit to him. He's fully fit now. Comes back into the squad, and then Charlie Colquette's trained unbelievably well. You know, such a good footballer. Obviously has a an unbelievable past in history in terms of the levels that he's played at. You know, unfortunately due to injury, probably hasn't hit the heights that he's wanted to get to, but you know, we've certainly seen that quality in training over the last couple of weeks, and we're really pleased to have him involved tomorrow.